think of the ocean. The ocean is universal consciousness, is all there is. There's nothing else. It's just this big ocean. Now I come with a glass and I just scoop some water, and I'm gonna have some water in the glass. The water in the glass is the same as the ocean. It's the same water. It's just in smaller quantity, right? So this water in the glass will be my own consciousness, your own consciousness. Hello everyone, this is Kevlan, and in this video I want to talk about the concepts of consciousness, soul, and the physical body. I want to share my perspective and insight on those different levels and different layers, what they truly means for us as human beings. My goal is really to empower you with knowledge, to bring forward knowledge that were mentioned in thousands of years by ancient civilizations, but also when it comes to those different concepts, religion is mentioning those different concepts as well. And I want to share, I want to really provide you knowledge so that you can use it as a catalyst to expand your understanding of reality, to expand your understanding of who you really are as a human being, and expand also your knowledge or your understanding of your true potential. So if I start with consciousness, and I like to call it universal consciousness. This has been mentioned as God, this fabric, this essence, the point of oneness, source, the absolute. It has many names, but at the end of the day is the all is mind. So we live in a world, we live in a universe that the fabric of this universe is consciousness. There is nothing but consciousness. Everything stems from this consciousness. And if you remember when in previous videos, when I was talking about this torus, and at the center of the torus there is a point of singularity, and that's where everything is stemming from this point of singularity. So the whole physical world, our whole 3D reality is coming from that point of oneness that has been called or has been known as God, or the singularity, or again the absolute, the point of oneness as source. It has many names, but it's to describe the same thing. That's what we are in essence. We all have this spark, this God spark within. And so that's the first level, where everything is one. And then from there, to experience consciousness, if the whole universe is consciousness, how can consciousness experience itself if there's nothing but consciousness? Again, consciousness has to decompose in different layers. And think of white light. If there was just white light, how would you know it's white light? You would not. So to experience white light, that's what we see. White light will decompose into 7 different colors, the rainbow, and you have blue, you have green, you have yellow, you have red, so on and so forth. But they're all the same thing. They are just white light from a different perspective. So that's exactly the same thing for universal consciousness. There is this point of oneness that will decompose in multiple fragments or multiple fractals. And those multiple fractals is going to be just different consciousness, or different fractals, or smaller quantity of the same thing. Or if I want to give you another analogy, just think of the ocean. The ocean is universal consciousness, is all there is. There's nothing else. It's just this big ocean. Now I come with a glass and I just scoop some water, and I'm going to have some water in the glass. The water in the glass is the same as the ocean. It's the same water. It's just in smaller quantity. Right? So this water in the glass will be my own consciousness, your own consciousness, or the consciousness that will just, decompose in multiple different fragments. For the animals, the plant, the trees, the rocks, everything is conscious. The planets, and so on and so forth. So the water in that container is the same as the ocean. So it's basically our spark, the God spark that we have within. Now, if I look at my water and I take another glass and I scoop another, I scoop some more water and I put it in another glass, and I have 2 glasses. The water in those 2 glasses will be the exact same. So how can I individualize each glass? I'm going to add some colors. I'm going to add some color red in one, and I'm going to add some color blue in the other one. So now I'm going to have a glass with water, which is the same water in both glasses, but in mine it's going to be red, in the other one will be blue, and that's what we call the soul. The soul level is what individualize our own consciousness from the other consciousness, so that we can have a different perspective of the same thing. So think of green from the rainbow is white light from a green perspective. Then we have red, which is white light from a red perspective. Then you have blue, which is white light from a blue perspective. So they're all the same thing, but they just embody different perspective of the same thing. So that is the exact same thing for what the soul is doing. The soul is just individualizing us from other souls, from other consciousness, so that consciousness, this God spark we have within, this water, can experience itself from different point of view. So that's the soul level. That's how I describe the soul, and that's what we are. Again, the soul is just to individualize us from the other souls. And then you have the physical body, the avatar. The physical body is just the glass where the water is contained. It's just so that the water can experience, or that God's spark can experience life in this 3D reality. The body is just a device, the tool, so that we can actually experience life, experience consciousness from a 3D reality level, from this very narrow energy band that we call the visible light spectrum. So that's the only thing that the body does, is just allowing us, for the soul and our consciousness, to experience life in this 3D reality. So we're not the body. The body is just a tool. We are that soul. We are that individualized consciousness that we call the soul, having this God spark. But even if we're not the body is alive thanks to this God consciousness, this God spark that we have within. And we all have the same spark. We all have that force within that makes us alive. And that's what Yeshua when he came on this planet, that's why he was teaching the people back in the day. And that's why he has been kind of distorted over time with religions and Bibles and things like that. But the real message was, we all have this God's spark within. The kingdom of God is within. It's not outside of us. It's just within. And we all have that same spark. Yeshua was able to align himself to his God spark and use this avatar to express this God spark in the 3D reality. And we all have that same power. We all have that same God spark because we're all coming from the same thing. So whatever he was able to achieve, it was to show us the true potential of human being. It was to show us that we have this light within, and when we can align this light and use this avatar to express this God spark in the 3D reality, now we can awaken, we can remember who we really are, and we can live our life as this God spark in the 3D reality. So I hope this information will empower you, because there's two things. First, you're not the body. Death is just an illusion, because you are that soul, and you live, which lives beyond space and time in a different realm. It's outside of the visible light spectrum. So the soul vibrates at a higher level. That's why we cannot see it in this 3D reality. But that's our drive. That's what allows us to experience consciousness with our unique perspective, with our unique mindset. That's why everybody has different life, different experiences, different perspective. It's just we are gathering information of the same thing from different lenses. So again, I like to come back to the rainbow. We are gathering information about my blue perspective and how it is conscious, how is white light from a blue perspective, and someone else is doing it from a green perspective, or yellow perspective, or purple perspective. So that's why we are. So that's why we can be integrated. We can be, individualized consciousness thanks to the soul. So at the soul level, we individualize consciousness, living or experiencing or providing information or providing different perspective of the same thing, which is at the top, the point of oneness, the God particle that we have within. That's how we create this collective reality where we all have different experiences, we all have different perspective, but we are all connected because we're all the same, because we have this same God particle within that is giving us life. So that's the second thing that is very empowering, is knowing that you are not your body and you are this soul, but knowing that we are all connected to everybody else, and all we're doing is experiencing the same thing from our own point of view, from our own perspective. So I just wanted to share this with everyone, because again, knowledge is power. Knowledge to me is a catalyst for change. That's the only way we can actually start the transformation from the inside out, is by expanding our understanding of who we are, expanding of our understanding of our reality, and start to embody this new understanding and start to live in life with this new understanding, so that we can change the world outside of us. If this is something that you want to know more, I invite you to check out my book on Amazon, The Science of Breaking Free. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Also, this is this type of topic that you like, please subscribe to my channel, smash that like button. It's always nice to get some likes, so that for the YouTube algorithm. And for now, I'll see you in the next video.